ACM Nutsiea, Antha Thithiliwat, Intalitsan at Humathwiam, Amita Putwilam, at a Tamar Thasiwanesh at Humathwiam. Honored guests, respected friends, relatives, elders, my ancestral name is Thithiliwat, and I welcome you to the unceded, traditional, ancestral lands of the Musqueam peoples. Today we're here at what the world knows as YVR, Vancouver International Airport, for the Humpkaminam speaking people, the Musqueam peoples. We have a couple of sites here, Squasathin, Chitsamoltsum. This is an area where our ancestors had village sites.
Today, we are coming together to film. Musqueam people, Musqueam employees at YVR, and ITAC staff are coming together to share the importance of September 30th, Orange Shirt Day. This is a day of learning, of honoring those children who were taken away to residential school, to those who came home, and for those who did not.
My name is Keith Henry. I'm the President and CEO of the Indigenous Tourism Association of Canada. I'm a Métis person. I grew up in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. I was born in Thompson, Manitoba. September 30th is a special day for a lot of reasons. A lot of people don't realize the impacts that residential schools had on Métis people, to my grandparents and to my great-great-grandparents. You know, it's really, it was an interesting time. My family had direct connections to what happened in 1885 with I guess the Batoche battle or Northwest Rebellion, whatever you want to call it. And what residential school and the impacts was they brought Métis kids in the late 1800s into the 1900s into residential schools, and they used that kind of event where our Métis people stood up for what they believed in and used the school and education of the residential places to basically threaten our ancestors, my family, that they had to not be like that Métis were really savages and rebellious. So, you know, to see the work that's been done to talk about the impacts of residential school outside of some of the other well-known issues, for Métis people, it's been really important. It's important to me. You know, the Catholic Church had a big impact on my family. I love my grandma and grandpa very much on the Henry side of my family, the Métis side. But I know school taught them a lot of difficult things. And the worst thing was I felt, hearing them, that they were ashamed of who they were as Métis people. And that was a big part where our families were also attending residential schools. And that's what that did. So September 30th, I wear this shirt with pride, because we live on and we've proven that we're proud to be Métis and proud to be part of this Indigenous community. And we need to keep working to honor the memories and the work we have ahead of us to maintain that pride.
Hello, my name is Tamara Bruman. I'm the President and CEO of the Vancouver Airport Authority. And I'm very proud to wear orange on September 30th in recognition of residential school survivors. You know, growing up, I grew up in Kamloops in the interior, and we always looked across at the residential school. And candidly, I always wondered what went on in the building. But it wasn't until I was older that I realized the full story and the extent of the residential school system in our country. I had the privilege of meeting many residential school survivors, and I wear orange in recognition of their suffering, of the role we all play in recognizing it and reconciliation, and especially I wear it for my son, who's 16 years old, and I think about the future in a time where we've come to terms with the residential school question and we're reconciled as a society going forward.
And today we're talking about Orange Shirt Day, because many years ago there was a little girl named Phyllis who was sent to residential school, and her mother dressed her beautifully in an orange shirt for her first day of school. But when she got to school, the teachers took away her orange shirt and put her in the school uniform. And We're thinking of all of the kids that went to the residential schools from all of our nations because it was a traumatic time for them. It wasn't a beautiful first day of school like how our kids would be going to school now. And I'm thinking about my father today in particular and all of my aunts and uncles that went to residential school because they were horribly traumatized. They were beaten, sexually abused. My dad lost his eye when he was at school. He lost his language. He really knew his language and his culture before he went to school, but they weren't allowed to speak their language or practice their cultures while they were there.
I wore an orange shirt on September 30th in recognition of all the residential school survivors and those who did not survive going to the school. My mom and her siblings have all gone either to day school or to residential school. I don't know how it would feel to have my own child taken from me and forced to go to a residential school. I feel for my late grandmother who had that happen to her, and I hope you all join me in wearing an orange shirt today.
Today I'm wearing an orange shirt in honor and recognition of my grandparents who went to residential school. I'm also wearing an orange shirt to raise awareness for the lasting impact that residential schools have had and for all the communities, Indigenous communities and Indigenous people that it continues to have an impact on.
Today I wear an orange shirt to honor my grandfather who was a residential school survivor. I also wear an orange shirt to stand with and show support for all residential school survivors and those that have been impacted by the residential schools.
To me, Orange Shirt Day provides an opportunity to bring awareness and attention to a part of our history that many Canadians are unaware of or just learning about. It provides the opportunity to reflect on the past, to commemorate survivors of residential schools and those that did not make it home. Listening and learning on this day is an important part to our path forward to reconciliation.
Oui, bonjour, Jason, je suis gestionnaire des ventes pour l'Association touristique autochtone du Canada. En ce 30 septembre, je porte le chandail orange pour rappeler que le Canada a une histoire sombre, l'histoire des pensionnats indiens, et aussi pour honorer ma mère, qui est une survivante de ces pensionnats-là. Donc, je vous invite tous, en support aux survivants des pensionnats indiens, à porter le chandail orange en cette journée spéciale. Yahweh.
Kweyaweti, Sebastian, Yatsi, Wendat Hendi, Nyowencio, Ayon Wensai. Mon nom est Sébastien Desnoyers-Picard, je suis de la nation Huron-Wendat. Ici, c'est notre territoire, le Nihonwencio. Aujourd'hui, en cette journée plus que spéciale, je porte mon gilet orange en support aux survivants des pensionnats indiens à travers le pays. C'est une histoire d'horreur qui s'est passée et je veux qu'à tout jamais, on soit capable de soutenir les gens qui sont passés à travers cette période très sombre de notre histoire. Ciao!
Orange Shirt Day to me is an opportunity to honor the children and the families impacted by the residential school system in Canada. It's an opportunity to stop, to listen, and to learn. And it's an opportunity to engage in meaningful dialogue as we work together on our path to reconciliation.
And I'm here today wearing my orange shirt in honor of the residential school students. And all of their families have been impacted by the trauma of this very dark history of Canada's history. I'm proud as an ally to the Indigenous communities across the country and all these amazing people that I've had the opportunity to get to work with and meet as they celebrate and bring their cultures and experiences to travelers from around the world. As an ally, I'm proud to be a part of this important work. And to me, the Orange Shirt Day is one day to raise awareness and to connect out to communities across the country. But this is an effort on the path to reconciliation is work that needs to happen every day. And I encourage everybody to take the time to look within themselves, as I have been doing, to understand how I can contribute and make a difference. But more important, it's lifting up and celebrating the amazing Indigenous communities and people that we have across the country.
We have a shared responsibility to learn from the past and to do better. I wear an orange shirt today to remember those who were prevented from growing up with family, prevented from sharing in community and culture, and prevented from learning and punished for being who they are. On September 30th, I hope you will wear an orange shirt to remember our children and take a little time to learn about them and to honor them. Thank you all.